The night was calm over the Nevada desert when the base alarms shattered the silence. Deep within the underground control room, old systems blinked to life for the first time in 40 years. A forgotten frequency pulsed across the monitors, a sound like a heartbeat wrapped in static. Technicians scrambled to decode the signal, believing it to be a malfunction. But then, something impossible happened. Deep space sensors, long dormant, began to respond in perfect sync. The coordinates pointed toward a region of the cosmos once believed uninhabited. As the base commander demanded an explanation, a low, rhythmic tone filled the speakers, almost like a voice repeating the same word. Return. Outside, the night sky flickered with brief bursts of light, invisible to the naked eye but clear on the radar. Something was moving toward Earth, vast and organized, as if answering a call no one had made. What began as a technical glitch now felt like destiny awakening. The soldiers stared at the screen, terrified yet transfixed, as one message scrolled across the old digital console. They once helped a human. Now we return. The Earth had called, and something out there had heard. Riley couldn't sleep that night. The signal had awakened something else inside him, a memory of his father's stories, the ones dismissed as bedtime fantasies. He returned to his father's old quarters at the base, dusty and sealed since his death. There, hidden beneath a false drawer, he found a small leather-bound journal with his father's handwriting. Asterisk, if humanity ever calls, they will come. Asterisk, each page chronicled events from decades earlier, an unreported crash, a wounded being unlike any man, and a soldier's impossible choice to save it instead of obeying orders. The journal described long nights of communication attempts, where two beings from different worlds found trust through gestures and light. Riley's father had helped the creature escape when the military planned to dissect it. The last entry read, asterisk, he promised they would remember. He promised one day they'd return. Asterisk, Riley's hands trembled as he turned the final page. The date matched the coordinates in the signal. His father's story wasn't fiction, it was a prophecy. And now, the ones his father saved were coming back. The containment wing beneath the base was a relic from another era, sealed under layers of steel and silence. Riley, driven by his father's journal, descended into the restricted levels. The air smelled like dust and electricity. Rows of old stasis pods lined the walls, each tagged BIO unknown. Most were empty, but one was active, pulsing faint blue light. As Riley approached, the glass fogged over, then cleared to reveal a silhouette inside. Humanoid, silver-skinned, motionless. Suddenly, the base power flickered and the pod hissed open. The creature took a long breath, its eyes glowing faintly with recognition. When it spoke, it wasn't words, but a series of soft tones, the same rhythm from the transmission. Riley realized it was saying his name, or rather, his father's. The alien, Curran, was alive, and it remembered the soldier who saved it. Security alarms blared, guards flooded the hallway, but Curran raised a hand and the systems shorted out. With quiet composure, it looked at Riley and said through a translator, the son of the one who believed. We have returned for the promise. Riley knew then. The story was far from over. Curran's memories appeared as light and sound, filling the laboratory with moving images. Through its touch, Riley saw the past. His father helping Curran escape, hiding him from soldiers, teaching him words like friend and trust. Curran's people had once visited Earth seeking alliance, but humanity's fear turned them into experiments. Only Riley's father showed mercy. In Curran's world, mercy was sacred, worth entire legacies. Your father changed our kind, Curran said softly. We learned that not all humans destroy what they don't understand. But Curran also brought a warning. There were others among his kind who hadn't forgiven humanity. They believed Earth's cruelty deserved extinction. The signal Riley's base had sent wasn't just a call for allies. It had awakened both friend and foe. The Terran stars now echoed with conflicting orders, protect or punish. Riley realized the entire planet was now part of a promise his father had made, and the consequence of the compassion he'd shown. The alien looked to the stars shimmering above the desert and whispered, they are coming, not all with peace in their hearts. Astronomers around the world confirmed the impossible. Hundreds of colossal ships, each one larger than a city, were emerging from the black folds of space near Saturn. They didn't match any known alien design. Their hulls shimmered with symbols similar to those etched in Karen's skin. Governments panicked, communications jammed, and the U.S. base went into total lockdown. Riley stood before the command screen as ship after ship appeared in the feed. "It's them," Karen said. "The fleet built from the memory of your father's kindness." But not all ships bore peaceful intent. Some carried banners of vengeance. Earth's defense satellites scrambled into position, ready to strike, but Karen warned that any attack could be seen as betrayal. The air in the command room was thick with tension. Were they coming to rescue or to conquer? Then, through the static of every channel on Earth, a calm voice spoke. "We come in response to the promise. Let not fear undo what one heart began." Humanity stood at the edge of first contact and judgment. Karen revealed the truth behind the fleet. After his rescue, he had returned home and told his people about the human who risked everything to save him. That act inspired the birth of the Terran Accord, a coalition of species united by the belief that compassion could reshape civilizations. They named themselves after Earth, the planet that once showed mercy. Now, after generations, the fleet had come not for conquest, but to offer humanity a place among them. Yet power-hungry human leaders saw opportunity instead of alliance. The Defense Council secretly planned to seize alien ships, reverse engineer their weapons, and control interstellar technology. Riley confronted them, desperate to stop another cycle of betrayal. "They came because my father cared," he argued, "not to be dissected again." But greed spoke louder than gratitude. Troops were mobilized. The world stood on the edge of its greatest chance, or its final war. Above the clouds, the Terran Fleet waited for an answer from the species that once saved one of their own. The betrayal came before dawn. Under the pretext of security containment, the U.S. military launched a covert strike to capture Karen and disable the incoming fleet. Explosions rocked the desert base as soldiers stormed the research wing. Karen shielded Riley, wounded but still refusing to fight back. "Do not repeat the sins of the past," he pleaded. But the humans fired anyway. Riley realized the truth. His father's compassion was being erased by fear. He stole a transmission device and broadcasted an open message into space. "This is Captain Riley of Earth. We have failed to promise. I beg forgiveness." The fleet above hesitated, torn between retaliation and restraint. Karen, bleeding and fading, placed his hand on Riley's heart. "The promise lives in you," he whispered. As the base crumbled around them, Riley sent one last pulse. The same signal his father once sent, a pattern meaning hope. The room filled with light as alien technology responded, lifting both man and alien from the debris. Humanity's fate now rested on one act of faith, the same one that began everything. The sky burned with brilliance as the Terran Fleet descended through the clouds. Earth's defense systems malfunctioned, overwhelmed by energy waves they couldn't comprehend. From orbit, hundreds of ships formed a vast shield over the planet, absorbing the damage from the rogue satellite that had turned against its own operators. The fleet wasn't here to destroy, it was here to protect. Karen's people restored the atmosphere, healed the wounded, and disabled every weapon on the planet without a single shot. As silence fell, a broadcast echoed across every screen, every speaker, every device. "Your father helped one of us. Now all of us have come to help you." Riley stood beside Karen on the base ruins, watching the horizon glow with dawn. Humanity had been saved, not by force, but by the echo of one man's kindness. For the first time in history, Earth was not alone, and the Terran Accord had fulfilled its promise. The stars no longer seemed distant. They were family.